We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Steve and Jill here.
Hi.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steve and Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from the Valley of the Sun.
Today, Jill and I talk about the psychology of choosing land investment as a career. Seems simple, but it's not.
I love this.
So do I.
It's really good. I have two, I think, really good points that I see as, for me personally, why we do this and, why it makes sense to me. And I'm happy to share, because I know a lot of people think like I do, and I want to share this.
Over the course of the years, I've had people, way more successful and wealthy than me, and way less successful, the same way, less successful and wealthy than I am, make comments on this. And none of it's wrong. So this show is about those perceptions.
I think maybe some of it might be wrong, but that's okay.
Before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free. And don't forget to subscribe on the Land Academy YouTube channel and comment on the shows you like.
Stephen wrote, I feel like Land Academy is a cheat code to the game of life in terms of financial precarity. Once you prove the concept to yourself, it's hard not to evangelize this to all the people you care about. But it's strange because they look at you like you have two heads. I love this. This is why I stopped a long time ago. When people say, what do you do? I never really tell them what I do because they don't get it. They do look at me like I have two heads. And then it opens up the whole can of worms of me explaining it. And then a half hour goes by and they're still looking at me sideways. And I'm like, I just wasted a half hour. I could have been talking about something more fun or just be doing nothing.
And this falls under the heading of you either get it or you don't.
Exactly.
And you're not going to tell anybody or sell anybody about the fact. If somebody's on the fence about whether or not this works,
let them sit on the fence.
They'll be there forever.
I'll push them on the other side.
People come to their own conclusion about whatever they see on the internet or talk to people. They come to their own conclusion about whether or not it works. You can see it in their eyes. Jill and I used to go, this is a long time ago, when before we started Land Academy, just to see what other people are doing. Like in 2013 and 14, we would go to these events, meetups. And stand in the lobby, not necessarily even go to the event, just stand in the lobby, have a cup of coffee and talk to people and listen to people. And of course, they were all real estate events about buying and selling houses, just like today. It's just buying and selling houses ridiculously and renovating them inefficient.
Right.
And we know that. We've renovated houses and learned that the hard way. And but it consumes, people are just it has this designer component to it, which fascinates certain people. So when you say to somebody who either wants to or has bought and sold a house and renovated it and made $22,000, that buying and selling land is easier and better, the light bulb's either going to immediately go off or they're going to say, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
And that's sad. It's like, well, what do you mean you don't get to pick the carpet and the wall? Like that's really what they're doing. They must be fulfilling a love of just shopping. I don't know, or making something pretty, which seriously, I'm a girl. I like to do this too. However, as a career, it's better to do it for fun as a hobby than as a career. That's what I would say to these, what really makes the most sense. Do that for fun because you love it, not to make a lot of money. Like Ellen. Like, doesn't Ellen love to do this? That's her passion. I think she likes the shopping and the designing and then moving on to the next house.
She's got her own line now, I think.
Right. And I don't think she's in it for really necessarily the money.
Ellen's a generous.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because her show and everything pays the bills.
Exactly. If you don't have a need for profit margin, then buying and selling houses is for you.
Yeah. And fixing them up, making pretty, like a lot of other things in life.
Here's a show that I would have on HGTV if it was, my show about how to renovate houses. It would be me with my head in the corner, talking with a screenshot of a spreadsheet, saying, this house lost $180,000 because we put in all this cool stuff. Just the truth about it all. And it would all be numbers. I don't know if you've ever, if you listener have ever, if you're on, team land investment, sat in front of a computer, in front of a spreadsheet, you've got it all dialed in about why you can buy and sell 15 properties in, let's say, Kentucky, and why you're going to make $150,000, and explained it to somebody sitting next to you. And a lot of times they go like this, they go back. They literally physically go back in their chair and cower slightly at all the numbers on the screen. So that's what land investment is. It's a lot of numbers on a screen, and there's a piece of property out there somewhere that needs to meet certain criteria, but it's really just numbers on a screen.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that a long time ago.
I need to just do this real quick.
Okay.
Today's topic, psychology of choosing land investment as a career. This is the meat of the show.
Okay. We talked, because it really is all tied together. So we talked about this a long time ago when we were just getting started and getting traction online and things like that. We're like, we could make an HGTV show out of this, which would really be 10 minutes of us and like 20 minutes of designing, because what we do best is the securing the asset for the people to make it pretty. And when you mirror those two, that's where the value is. Like, so much of what we do, like when you're doing houses, you want to do it right. Being that bird dog, you make way more money than your flipper. Think about it. You're the bird dog. You find the deal. You mark it at 50 grand, whatever it is. They go and put all, and you do it in, your cash in, cash out 30 days. That's a very healthy, realistic timeline. Now, and then you flip it to this guy. He's not going to be cash in, cash out in 30 days.
No.
Especially
Maybe
in today's environment.
Right.
Exactly. And then when he's done in a year, especially with all the delays and everything going on right now, he's waiting for appliances and all this stuff. I mean, you keep doing it over and over and over again. And the volume of what you're doing compared to this guy, making it pretty and waiting for the landscaper and then getting it on the market, finding the right guy and dealing with all that to make $75,000. And you did 3 in that time. I mean, you doubled it.
I mean, so that's comparing this business, buying and selling land, to houses. So
True.
let's start,
that's one thing.
That's a very obvious
I was still
one.
kind of finishing the whole.
Go ahead.
No.
I'm sorry, Jen,
I was
go ahead.
finishing what we were talking about a little bit from the question.
Yeah.
But then now to get into the real topic, I have 2 points, and you go. Tell me.
Go ahead.
Oh, you want my? Okay. So here are my 2 points on today's topic. Like I really thought about this, the psychology of choosing this as a career. Like, what's up? Like, what's wrong with us? That's really what I'm saying. What's wrong with me that I don't think like those other people? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. And I thought about it. You know what? And I don't care about their opinions. That's point number 1. I think I let the numbers speak for themselves. I'm not here to prove anything to anybody. I'm not here to set the market on fire for the highest retail price per square foot sale, or the prettiest, or, that kind of a thing. So I don't care. So I'm proud that they don't get it. And that kind of goes into number 2 is I think that my part B is I like to be a little bit of a rebel.
Oh,
and
that didn't cross my mind here.
Secretly,
I love the rebel in you.
Love that they don't get it. So when people are super successful and they just don't get it, I'm like, yippee-ki-yay. That's great for me. You are not my
I never knew this about you.
Yep. So
I had no idea we were going to talk about this today.
Well, thank you. So those are.
It makes you a little more attractive. Jill's got this kind of Joan Jett component to her personality, and this is confirming that for me.
Thank you. I like going against the grain. In case you hadn't noticed. What is it for you?
Look, here's my spiel here on this episode. And once again, it's like your take on this. We don't talk a lot about these episodes, obviously, before we record them. So, but I hope there's some value in that because we get a different perspective. Mm-hmm. This episode to me is about this. Look, wherever you are right now, I don't care if you're driving, sitting at home, walking the kids, walking the dog. I don't know, or I don't care where you are in your life. Stop for a second and think about this. You have complete control of your career and changing it entirely in 6 months. You're about 10 to 15 phone calls away from doing anything you want. You can own a convenience store. You can flip houses, God forbid. You can own a manufacturing facility. You can own a chain of manufacturing facilities or apartment buildings or any type of business that you want. It's not hard at all. In fact, I've really been kicking around the idea of doing a class on this. So why do we choose a land investment over all this other stuff? Well, the root of it for me is risk and reward. I hate risk. Every investor doesn't like risk. I see the stock market, day trading and all that is very risky. I see it closer to gambling than investing. I see real estate investment itself as pretty risky. I've done all types of real estate investment, and I have honestly failed at a lot of it. I haven't dismally failed, but I've come out of break even, lose a little bit of money, or just could never get the momentum. So it's risk reward for me. And then the second two things that are incredibly important to me are consistency. Great, you did one deal this year and you made $18,000. You can't live on that. If you can, congratulations, email me because I want to know how to do that. And then number two, scalability. And they go hand in hand. Consistency and scalability are really, really important. So if I buy a convenience store, get a great price for it, negotiate a great lease or even buy the building with it, it makes $10,000 or $15,000 net every month, and I live above it. And now I'm making $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 every single month. It's real consistent. That's a pretty low risk situation. Now I'm listening, especially if I can do it down the street and then in the other state and on and on and on. That's my kind of business. Being a real estate agent, you don't know where the next, and I don't mean just now, but I mean over time, you don't know where the next deal is going to come from. And so there's no real consistency in that. There's no real pride in it. The risk and reward don't jive. It doesn't fit the box for me. With land, I have complete and total control over how much I buy, for what price, how often I buy it, how far I scale it. I have complete and total access to capital. In case I find a great $22 million deal tomorrow, Jill and I could raise that in Discord in Land Academy in 15 minutes. And so could you as a Land Academy member. So it's a matter of checking boxes. So first, you got to stop and look at yourself and ask yourself what you want. Number two, it's got to check these boxes. For me, I just told you what my 3 boxes are. It checks them all. Consistency, scalability, and almost virtually no risk at this point in my career at all. And so that's why I'm in, that's the psychology of choosing a land investment as my career. It might not make sense to you at all. I'm not sure. I love land itself, but it's incidental.
That's true.
I would do this with,
I can't find margins like this anywhere else. That's the end of that's the last piece
misunderstood.
For me. Like, I still am like, I can't think of anything that you could do as easily as we do, not have to have a warehouse full of inventory and have the same return that we do. That's it.
I mean, in a word, it's so controllable.
Yeah.
When you buy and sell stock, you can't control that. Just be honest with yourself. There's so many people right now that are making so much money in the stock market. There's a lot of real estate agents that are making money right now in this upswing. Everything's on its upswing. And so, if you're in business for 2 years and you've had 2 great years, you're in for a surprise. At some point. It's not going to be this way. And I was one of those people early in my career, actually a couple times where I totally got caught with, wow, boy, I misjudged that from a time standpoint. So the older you get, the more you put safety nets in place for that. But for me, land checks all the boxes.
I love it. Need to send out a few thousand offers to property owners like us? Check out offers and the number 2owners.com. So it's offers2owners.com. No setup fees, free mail merge, exceptional service, and now including just released for everyone, concierge data and pricing. It's awesome. Give Offers to Owners a call today. Thank you. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week, you can find us here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy Show is called The Truth About Mailer Hate. You are not alone in your real estate ambition. What the heck's mailer hate?
I know we've talked about it before, but we haven't talked about it in a while. And it's always good to revisit this when we have, because we always have new members joining Land Academy and new people finding us. And they're like, you send the mail out and you're sending these offers out. Some are received well and some are not received so well. And that's why we call it the hate. And then, and boy, do they let you know it. So we'll talk all about that tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you found our content valuable. We really appreciate your support. If you haven't already, please check out our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button.
We are Steve and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you found our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.